Have you ever found yourself repeatedly thinking about someone and wondering why? It might be that this persistence goes beyond a simple memory. Perhaps it's the universe trying to send you a message, a lesson yet to be understood. Often, these thoughts don't arise out of nowhere. They could be an invitation to look deeper within yourself, to explore your ego and soul, and to better understand your purpose. And what if, by understanding these signs, you could see more clearly the path to a life with greater meaning and connection? Let's explore together what the universe has to say. Have you noticed that sometimes a person seems to invade your thoughts repeatedly, like they're living in your mind rent-free? This phenomenon can go far beyond simple subconscious activity. It may represent an energetic connection or even a necessary learning experience. Think of it as an invisible thread linking souls, something that, although unseen, is deeply felt. When this person constantly appears in your thoughts, it's as if the universe is trying to offer a clue, a message about a lesson to be learned or personal growth to be embraced. And if you ignore it, well, it's likely these thoughts will keep popping up, insisting, like a door banging in the wind. Now, when these thoughts come up, it might be useful to reflect on exactly what you're feeling. Is it a sensation of peace or a lingering unease? This difference could indicate whether the connection is something positive, something that adds to your life, or if it's a warning about what needs to be resolved within yourself. It's not uncommon for the universe to send signals in the form of recurring thoughts, subtly pushing you to understand what needs attention. And if this sounds new to you, try something simple. Write down what you feel each time this person appears in your thoughts. Over time, these notes might reveal patterns that show far more than you'd expect. This process, which begins almost without explanation, starts taking shape and becomes a portal to self-awareness. It's a way for the universe to use our emotions and thoughts to drive our growth. After all, recurring reflection about someone specific can be a powerful tool for spiritual and personal development. How about investigating these signs? Looking within, understanding what connects you to this person. Each thought could be like turning a page in a book of life lessons. This frequency of thoughts is a door to explore emotions that may be buried deep, preparing us for new messages the universe has to share. Emotions are often the universe's silent language. They arise as responses to life's stimuli, but also as messages for growth. Imagine each emotion as a subtle messenger carrying clues about what's out of balance or in need of attention. It's no accident that certain feelings catch us off guard, and suddenly, it seems like something much bigger than ourselves is trying to get our attention. Instead of pushing these emotions away, why not welcome them as a form of self-discovery? Feeling and reflecting on what an emotion is telling you could be the first step to a deeper understanding of yourself and what needs transformation. Many of us tend to ignore or bury uncomfortable emotions, believing that brushing them aside strengthens us. But in reality, facing what we feel may be the true key to spiritual and personal development. When an emotion arises, pause and observe. What exactly is causing this feeling? Could it be a call to look more closely at some aspect of life? For example, if restlessness or sadness arises without an apparent reason, it might be time to review what surrounds you and understand what the universe is trying to communicate. This kind of attention opens doors to insights and self-awareness. Each emotion, when embraced, becomes an invitation from the universe for transformation. Instead of judging if it's a good or bad emotion, we can ask ourselves, what does this feeling bring to the surface? What can I learn from it? Deep down, emotions are like a compass, guiding us toward the lessons and steps we need to take. So, why not use this tool to our advantage as a silent ally pointing the way? By understanding the importance of each feeling, we make room for new lessons and insights, as if our very soul were more open to what's to come. Anna's story is a perfect example of how recurring thoughts can be more than just daydreams. They can carry a life lesson. Anna constantly had one name on her mind, a person from her past who, by all means, was no longer part of her life. At first, she tried to ignore it, thinking it was merely nostalgia, but the thoughts kept appearing, persistent. Over time, Anna realized that this mental presence was tied to unresolved issues, something she needed to address to move forward. It wasn't about the person, but about the lessons left behind. This process of reflection led her to confront emotions she had buried, assuming they would fade with time. But by looking inward, she saw these thoughts as a mirror to her own fears and insecurities. Anna began to understand that by embracing these feelings, she was accepting parts of herself she had previously tried to avoid. This step toward self-discovery wasn't easy, but it brought her an unexpected lightness. From that moment on, Anna saw these thoughts not as a nuisance, but as an opportunity to heal, to release what no longer served her. By welcoming this experience, Anna discovered that instead of fighting these memories, she could use them for her own growth. It was a revelation for her, realizing that these mental visits carried hidden lessons, a sort of guide for personal growth. Her example inspires us to view recurring thoughts from a new perspective. Who knows, by doing the same, we may find answers to questions we didn't even realize we still carried. And this journey can prepare us to understand connections that go far beyond our immediate comprehension. Sometimes it feels like certain people come into our lives in inexplicable ways, as if they're destined to play a role in our journey. These spiritual connections go beyond coincidence. They're those we feel in the soul, as though we've known them in another existence. They arrive to teach, to share a joint mission, something that touches our purpose directly and challenges us to evolve. Imagine someone who, out of nowhere, appears in your life and stirs deep reflections, transforming the way you see the world. These types of encounters almost always carry a larger meaning, something beyond mere companionship. To understand these connections, it's essential to observe the impact that person has on you. If they bring peace, a sense of recognition, as if you've always been in sync, this person may have come to support your spiritual development. Conversely, if their presence brings unease, challenges, or even conflict, it might be an invitation from the universe to look within and seek answers. Both situations offer valuable lessons, but it's up to us to discern what each one represents and how we can grow from them. This is a vital part of self-awareness, understanding what these relationships reflect within us. When embraced, these spiritual connections have the power to transform us. They encourage us to look inward, to rethink our values, and to align ourselves with our true purpose. It's as if each person who passes through our life brings a piece of a larger puzzle, something that gradually reveals a picture of learning and growth. Over time, these lessons become foundations for understanding the complexity of our emotions and our own self. By opening up to these encounters, new insights arise, showing that we're always ready to learn more. The law of attraction teaches us that what we focus on grows and manifests in our reality. When our thoughts center intensely and repeatedly on someone, we're channeling powerful energy to attract this person into our lives, whether in a physical, emotional, or even spiritual way. But it's essential to ask, does this desire come from the soul or the ego? The difference is subtle but fundamental. When it comes from the soul, the feeling is light and harmonious. When it's the ego that desires, it often carries an urgency and restlessness. And this distinction is one of the most significant signs of what we truly want. It's fascinating how attraction works across different realms. If we're vibrating in a frequency of peace and purpose, we attract people and situations that mirror this energy. However, if our intentions are rooted in insecurities or fears, we're likely to attract reflections of those same emotions. This is why self-awareness becomes an essential ally. Before diving into the law of attraction, it's worth asking, what exactly am I inviting into my life? And is this something that genuinely contributes to my growth? These simple questions can guide a powerful transformation from within. Applying the law of attraction consciously requires more than just wishing intensely. It requires aligning thoughts, actions, and emotions. Imagine each thought as a seed, and the soil it grows in is our subconscious. To harvest what we desire, we must nurture this ground with intention, self-awareness, and above all, patience. Thus, attraction becomes a tool that, when used wisely, helps us draw in what truly supports our growth. With this perspective, we move forward to understand what these recurring thoughts reveal about our inner selves. Thinking frequently about someone can be a powerful tool for self-discovery, as often this person acts as a mirror, reflecting aspects of ourselves that we haven't fully explored. It's as if the universe is bringing parts of us to the surface that need attention, a kind of reminder to look within. Have you considered that these thoughts might be pointing towards something you haven't yet noticed within yourself? This person might actually represent a quality or lesson you still need to assimilate, revealing more about your hidden emotions and desires. A helpful exercise is to pause and ask yourself, what exactly makes me think about this person so much? Is it admiration, nostalgia, or even a certain unease? Each answer offers a clue, almost like a treasure map, pointing toward where you should direct your personal growth. This reflective process allows for a deeper connection with your subconscious, exploring the emotions that may be lying dormant. Think of it as an inner dialogue, where, by understanding the reason behind the thought, you uncover parts of yourself that were hidden, waiting for the right moment to emerge. These recurring thoughts then become less of a mystery and more a valuable tool for understanding who we are. By allowing yourself this analysis, you begin to see yourself with greater clarity, identifying areas to develop and qualities to reinforce. This self-awareness exercise brings you closer to your purpose and prepares you for deeper, more meaningful connections, ones that may align with the souls we are destined to meet. With this understanding, we're ready to explore what these connections truly mean for our journey. Some say that when we think intensely and persistently about someone, it can be a sign of a deeper connection, something beyond mere coincidence. These frequent thoughts may suggest the presence of a kindred spirit or even a soulmate, someone with a fundamental role in our spiritual journey. This connection is felt deep in the soul, like a mutual recognition that defies logical explanation. And when you sense this, you realize the attraction isn't physical, but energetic, as if the souls communicate in a silent language. Often, these soulmates or kindred spirits come into our lives to teach us valuable lessons, be it about love, patience, or even self-sufficiency. They may appear at moments when we are ready to learn and grow significantly. A soulmate, for example, isn't necessarily a romantic partner. They could be a friend, a mentor, or even someone who crosses our path briefly, but leaves a lasting impact. Recognizing this person requires sensitivity to understand what they represent and what their presence brings out within us. When understood and accepted, these connections become guides on our path to self-discovery and fulfillment. They reveal our potential, highlight challenges to overcome, and often provide a sense of completeness that feels like home. Having a soulmate or kindred spirit is like finding a missing puzzle piece, bringing clarity and peace that prepare us to move forward in our search for purpose. And so these souls continue to guide us, whether physically present or simply in thought, reminding us that each step on the journey is an opportunity to learn and evolve. When we think intensely about someone, it can be challenging to discern whether this desire comes from the ego or the soul. The ego often seeks approval, status, or immediate comfort, while the soul has deeper motivations focused on learning and genuine connection. If the thought brings peace and a sense of completeness, it's likely the soul speaking. But if it's accompanied by restlessness, neediness, or dissatisfaction, it's the ego acting. This discernment is essential to understanding the true reason behind these persistent thoughts. A practical exercise to differentiate these motivations is to observe the impact that the thought generates in you. Does it inspire and motivate, or provoke frustration and anxiety? This simple act of observation can open new horizons of self-awareness, helping you understand the emotions behind the thoughts. When it comes to spiritual attraction, the soul seeks what authentically completes it, without haste or expectation. The ego, on the other hand, often wants things immediately, creating a sense of urgency that disconnects us from what truly matters. Over time, this distinction between ego and soul becomes a valuable tool for personal growth. It teaches us to pay attention to what brings peace and to let go of the ego's fleeting motivations. This is one of the great lessons of the spiritual journey. realizing that while the ego desires control, the soul desires growth. By recognizing what each thought represents, we can free ourselves from illusions and focus on what truly elevates us. This awareness prepares us to maturely welcome the lessons that each connection brings. Now that you understand what constantly thinking about someone might mean, take advantage of these insights to seek the lessons the universe wants to teach you. Ask yourself, what do these thoughts reveal about my purpose and my connections? Use this moment of reflection to know yourself better and align with what you want to attract. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue exploring themes of spirituality and personal growth. And of course, thank you for staying until the end. If this content helped you in any way, don't hesitate to share it with others. Who knows, maybe they too need this transformative insight. And wait, don't leave yet. The end screen has 2 incredible videos to accelerate your journey of evolution even further. Don't miss this chance. Click there and I'll see you in the next video.